Welcome to Hort Culture, where a group of extension professionals and plant people talk about the business, production, and joy of planting seeds and helping them grow. Join us as we explore the culture of horticulture.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Hort Culture. This is Brett coming at you. Alexis is out on the road spreading the cut flower gospel, but we are joined today by our co-host who has been away for some time and is finally back in the house. Jessica Besson, what is up?
Hey, it's nice to be back again.
Yeah, what's been going on,
Just, taking care of kiddos and all of the above, enjoying the summer.
How was your 4th of July party? Was it a big blowout?
It was. It was good. Lots of fun.
Well, we're also joined today by two folks two young early career professionals who have been working with you in your office this summer. Zoey and Kallise, what are you all up to?
Oh man, finishing up our internship. Today's our last day. It's been a good, busy summer.
Cool.
Crying as we walk out the doors today.
Oh, sad. They're sad to be leaving.
For the last day, yeah, wow.
Well, we're going to get into that, but I wanted to open by saying maybe a little question, get the brain rolling here. What would everyone say is their favorite native grass? No, I'm just teasing. I told
I was like, oh my gosh.
I had one.
That is not a good one to start off with on my first day back.
I'm just teasing. I told him that it was like a pretty laid back, chill thing, and I wasn't going to.
Brett enters something extremely specific.
Yeah, well, I'm curious to hear. Do you all have, outside of your time as students and as interns in the extension office, do you all have and the other co-hosts, hobbies or interests or things, whether minor or major, that maybe would surprise people or that people don't necessarily know?
Who wants to start?
We've spent too much time together to have surprises.
we would be surprising to us, to me.
Oh, surprise to you?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a surprise to Kallise.
Okay, well, she knows. I'm a big horse person, so I have a horse named Gatorade, and I enjoy riding and competing, so that's kind of a big hobby of mine.
Gatorade. Did you name it Gatorade?
I did.
Is it orange?
No, he's black. But I can have like a blue bucket and he's having a blue Gatorade day, or he has a red halter and he's having a red Gatorade day.
I gotcha. I haven't tried black Gatorade, so I'll have to see if I can get my hands on that.
Yeah, good stuff.
I'm sure that there has to be like a dark gray one somewhere.
Are you like in a specific discipline in the equine world, the horse world, or are you like into trail riding or barrel racing, or what are you into?
Oh, I like to jump. Not very big stuff, and I'm not super competitive, but I have a ton of fun doing it.
Yeah, good deal. I know and I've learned to ask that question being from Bourbon County, where I grew up with trail riding horses almost exclusively. And then I go there, then everything are these faster type horses. And I mentioned trail riding and people's like, oh, no, we don't do that here. Some people may do that, but yeah, there's all sorts of disciplines I know in the equine world. So yeah, good deal.
What about you two co-hosts?
I don't think it's necessarily a surprising hobby. I think it's pretty common, but I really enjoy scrapbooking.
Oh,
like the cousin of journaling.
Did you used to enter in the fair your scrapbook project?
This is a newer hobby. I would say like post college years. I did do it when I was younger, but I never entered it. But my cousin just had a baby, so I made her a little scrapbook of his first month, and then left her some pages so she could add on. So
do you have like a scrapbooking organizational structure for all the pieces and components? What does that look like?
I have like a box that has all my paper scraps, and then I have a basket that has all my pens and my tape and my markers and all that stuff.
So I'm seeing in a picture in my mind. It's more than just pictures, scrapbooking the way that you do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's mainly pictures, maybe like a couple words or like a paragraph describing like if it's a day or something, but mainly pictures, or if I get like a postcard or something from somewhere, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then you like to attach it or to sort of frame it, there's like things you put like on the corners that's maybe a shape or a color or something like that. Is that true?
Like a color paper or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of framing and kind of creating the overall image. Do you find that to be relaxing or exciting or stressful, or what? How do you feel about that?
Relaxing. I think I like to do it at night. Like when I'm with my parents or my family, just so I'm not on my phone. I'm still doing something, and it's relaxing.
Cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I know that is rather big right now, scrapbooking and journaling and all of that. I'm kind of glad to see scrapbooking's been a thing since I can remember, and that's way back before 2003 and 4. So yeah, so I'm glad to see that's still a thing. It's cool stuff. And we had this big discussion my family did the other day of we have more photos than ever, but we look at them, we feel like less than we ever did because we don't have photos out in front of us. So I don't know if what you guys feel about that, or if you feel anything about that.
Oh,
but yeah, we were talking. I love photos in an album. I still love that.
You have to get one of those photo displays. Looks like a picture frame.
I've got all your one photos, of those, but then you've got to go and update it.
Oh, my kids are obsessed with it. They love it.
Reed likes hours. Yeah,
hours of entertainment. They just take it off the shelf and lay on the floor and watch the photos go by.
Yeah. And I do look at the photos more on that. So yeah.
Our TV is connected to our Google Photos, so like if we stop watching TV for a while, it'll slide through, and we'll sit there forever just watching the pictures.
Yeah, just kind of looking. You'll stop as you're going by. Mine is connected to my Apple Photos app, but yeah, when it goes to the Apple TV goes to sleep, it'll show that, which is pretty cool. It's all the ways of looking at photos, journaling, and things like that being some of the best ways to look at photos. Yeah, good deal.
Well, I've recently gotten into a little bit of very low level coin collecting.
You're not going to own that completely, like hardcore coin collecting. Just
no, there's levels. There's levels to the game. I'll just put it that way. And I am not up in the levels, but it's nice. I'm mainly just going through like coins that are currently in circulation, like rolls of stuff, and looking for finding dates and putting them in little albums, and so it's pretty fun. What about you all? You all got any little things?
I have grandma hobbies when I'm not chasing children, but I'm chasing a lot of children as of right now, which is fantastic and has been wonderful.
You ever catch them, or are you mainly chasing?
It depends. It depends on the day. It depends on how fast they are, how slippery they are at the time, if I can catch them or not. But like knitting, when I am not really tired and stuff, I knit a lot or quilt as well. So more of the grandma hobbies that I enjoy. But
well, grandmas were young just like you once, once upon a time. So like, just a state of mind.
Right.
What about you, Ray?
Cons. I don't know. You probably should ask what's my hobby this week. I don't know. It's like I'm into all the things. Let's see.
What is your hobby this week?
Well, a long-standing hobby this week and other weeks prior. I guess one of my longest-standing hobby is collecting old bikes or vintage bikes and rebuilding bikes or building bikes from scratch, like bicycles.
I did not know this.
I didn't either. Yeah. I've never heard you mention that.
I have loved bicycles since I did my first little jump on a BMX bike and crashed it and broke it and had to fix it. But yeah.
I am also very into bikes.
Yeah.
What do you have any right now on hand?
I've got, 4 hanging on the wall. I just built a little single-speed mountain bike that I'm kind of into right now. It's like a giant BMX bike. But I don't know. I love old and new bikes, boutique bikes, vintage bikes, any kind of bicycles. Love that.
Cool.
Love it. Yeah.
Wow. Cool. See, that's why I ask, because you never really know, and
now you can bond over that.
There you go. We can do our vintage fixies through the streets of Lexington someday, Brett. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Talk why they decided to make components less attractive than the old beautiful vintage Colnago components.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Stuff like that people find really interesting.
Tail lights on car. Yeah, a very specific slice of the population would find that interesting. Yeah.
Well, I think we as a group have a lot of wide-ranging interests, but I think one overlap for a lot of us is this world of horticulture and plants and all that kind of fun stuff. And we also happen to work in extension. And so you all, I think, Zoey and Kallise, have kind of gotten a chance to experience a wide range of stuff at the extension office. So I'd love to just hear, what your experience has been, what kind of stuff you've gotten into. Was there stuff that surprised you, or was different from what you expected, or was it all, you all saw it all coming? I'd just love to hear about it. And just let us know again, like, what was this position that you did? How did you find out about it? How did you apply for it? Like, what did that look like?
Okay. Do you want me? Sure. So I am a student of the College of Ag at UK, obviously a big collaborator and like home base of Extension. So I was pretty familiar with the program, and once I got to having enough credits, I was excited to apply. I had been recommended by advisors and just very aware of it as I was getting to the point where I could start to apply. I think yours was a little different.
Oh yeah. I'm from Mercer, so I did a lot of stuff within the Extension office growing up. I did Country Ham Project and clubs and all the speeches and stuff like that. So Dana Anderson, the 4-H extension agent, sent me the application. And I applied. Just, maybe I get it. I'm honestly surprised I did get it. I think I am the only person in the internship who's not within a college of agriculture. But I can see how event and facilities would be good for this job, but I am kind of surprised that
So you just alluded to it, but so what's your major and where do you go again?
I go to Western, and my major is event and facilities management, which is actually within the recreation department.
Okay. And what is that like? What would you imagine yourself maybe doing down the line with, after having studied that?
So recreation is the facilitation of anything that you're going to do for fun. So for Kentucky, that means a lot of horse parks, bourbon industry, any, or even just corporate event planning in general. I can see myself being really interested in all that.
Cool. I mean, we do a lot of event planning and logistical stuff like that within Extension. Yeah. So I'm sure you all. So what did you all get into? Back to my kind of original question of what was this about?
So much. We were asked in our internship showcase and exit interviews if we could briefly describe what we did this summer, and my response was, I don't know if I can do it briefly, because we have done so much. Our summer has been 12 weeks and it's gone by quick, but it's been so jam-packed. What did we start with? We started with
camp.
Yeah, a lot of camp prep.
Oh, wow.
For Cloverbud Camp.
Yeah.
So all of the dietary and medical sheets, all of the cabin assignments, getting everyone's releases, all the orientations for counselors and for kids.
Name tags and vouchers and paperwork and orientation.
Yes.
Talk about event management. Wow, that's awesome.
Absolutely. We had our big conference room table that we're sitting at now that we called camp, or like Camp War Room or War Room Camp, because we had serious planning going on. What did we do? Then we went to camp.
Then we went to camp, and then we had Cloverbud.
Yes. So we spent a combined 8 days at camp, 9 days.
Yeah.
And then
all of those overnight camps?
Yes.
So
how was that experience? Yeah.
I had never been. You had been.
Yeah,
I really did not know what to expect. And I had quite a fun time. We stayed in a cabin. We were not counselors, which I was relieved. I have discovered that hanging out with kids is sometimes fun, but being responsible for kids is not my cup of tea. So I enjoyed not being actually in the cabins with the kids, but we helped a lot with putting out various fires around camp, making sure kids had shoes and swimsuits when they needed them, and Legos were delivered, and various little things so that everything could run smoothly for the rest of the staff and counselors.
Yeah, I was kind of opposite because I went to camp and I had been a counselor. So I kind of missed, being in the cabin with the kids and being a counselor. So, but I also had fun on the other end of, getting to run around and, put out fires and stuff like that.
And then for Cloverbud, we had kind of a station that we were teaching. So we did the ice cream making. We did it in coffee cans where they put all the ingredients up with their salt and their ice and shake it all up till they make ice cream. So that was for the little kids, the 6 to 8 year olds, and that was pretty neat. They enjoyed it.
It was very exhausting, but
it was very.
I think people see camp if they've never been to camp, like parents or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, this is a fun week." But you have a different opinion of camp. If you're on the inside with planning and implementation, your opinion is really different. I mean, you may still love it, but you see all the work that goes into that, which is incredible. It's an incredible amount of work to keep everything going.
And they went to these overnight camps, but then at the same time at our office during the summer, we offer a lot of day camps that are happening. And part of their intern projects, they both got to do, these day camps. And Zoe, I wasn't so much involved with Zoe's because I know yours was offered to adults too, right, Zoe? And then Kallise, I was able to help with hers a little bit by what the word I'm trying to say? Willing and Dylan beeswax, trying to get beeswax for her camp, and she did
beeswax and snipping some branches off your trees.
branches. So, do you guys want to share about like your intern projects and all that went into those?
Yes. So we got back from camp and we both did planning while at camp, which was an interesting experience, and various activities leading up to both of our projects. Mine was a 3-part international foods cooking class series, open to kids and adults. We had crepes, sushi, and we had a Mexican day where we had churros and tortilla chips and salsa. So my kind of learning goals for that were to increase confidence in the kitchen, to teach tangible cooking skills, increase folks' openness to trying new foods, and to learn more about other cultures. And so that was a really fun, rewarding experience. So we had 3 different days with the different kind of dish and country themes. And we had about 16 people come to each class, and super fun experience. We've gotten a lot of messages and people telling us after the fact how much they enjoyed the class, how maybe their kids hadn't had that type of food before. We got a message yesterday from one of our very involved families of pictures of their 2 kids that had gone to a Japanese restaurant, and their kids went straight to the sushi bar and had full plates of sushi after not having tried it before my class. So that was really fun to see them enjoying and feeling really excited and open to trying new things.
Yeah, that text message was really sweet.
That made my day.
It made my day. It wasn't even my class.
It's the best when you get positive feedback back. It's the absolute best. Yeah.
So I did Camp Olden Days, which was a heritage-based day camp. So I had actually originally started with wanting to do like a plant identification workshop because it's kind of a long story, but basically it's something that my grandparents do very well. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. Like I need to be like my grandparents. I need to know how to do that.
And the horticulture agent wasn't there to help you.
I know. But we also have a very similar program with our natural resources club. So Dana recommended that I do part of it, but I also just expand it into an overall heritage day, which I really liked that idea. Some activities were leaf printing, beeswax candles, weaving, barn quilt painting, and heritage cooking. So they made butter and fried apple pies.
Oh, wow.
And then Jessica got me 8 pounds of beeswax for beeswax candles. I learned how to render beeswax. We had to do that. So me and Zoe spent an entire day cleaning beeswax. And we also did leaf printing, which is kind of the horticulture related. I printed out these little prints, and they were native Kentucky tree species. So we did sassafras, sweet gum. What were the other ones?
Tulip poplar.
Tulip poplar. And there's 2 different types of oak, red oak and...
We have red maple and sugar maple.
Oh, maple, not oak, yeah. But yeah, it was fun. They learned about the 3 different types of sassafras leaves and, tulip poplar state tree and all that. So hopefully,
and you said you didn't start out with that. That was a change based on like when you first came in, you had to make a change. You said.
Yeah, we just have a program called Natural Resources, which is for the children, and it teaches them a lot about, the different plants and, natural resources. So we just kind of wanted to expand so that we weren't redoing what some of the children would have already been learning. So.
Yeah, good.
Well, yeah, a couple things you all said that really that I keyed in on that I really liked. One was that you referred to it as my program, like you had this sense of delivering it and owning it and getting feedback on it and all of that. And I think that's so cool, and it's something that we when we work with students or we work with people who are early in their careers, try to encourage that as much as possible. That and so it's really cool that you had that experience. And the other thing that I think is cool, and maybe you can talk about this, something in extension we talk about, and sometimes it's hard to understand, is that we have all these program areas. We have 4-H, we have horticulture, we have agriculture, we have FCS. And while, yes, they do have their own identities, they tend to overlap. And it seems like a lot of what you all are doing is overlapping between those program areas. And I'm curious if you knew that going in, or like what your experience with that was.
That's kind of something that I've really had a fun time playing with, because knowing what extension is and how different agents have their, program areas they're responsible for, being an intern has allowed us to not have those confines and being able to be more fluid. And our connection between our programs in the different areas, like you can't have food without people, and you can't have people without nutrition, and you can't have, healthy kids without nutrition, and everything, correlates. You can't have adults without kids. So all the program areas, while they have their own area, have a lot of overlap, and being able to play within that has been a fun time.
I'm curious. I'm just curious, Ray and Jessica, what you all think as people, horticulture agents and people with a lot of experience in extension, like the ways that your programs integrate with others, and like, you see it in the programming that Zoey and Kallise are offering, but what other kinds of stuff do you all, the ways that horticulture interfaces with these other program areas? I mean,
it crosses a lot of boundaries. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I've had a lot of overlap over the years, because I've done in the past. Used to do a plant camp for youth, and did insect camp and insect club. So partnering up with 4-H that way. And then of course with horticulture and vegetable production, a lot of partnerships with FCS about teaching classes. Like, let's teach a class on how to grow strawberries. We give people strawberry plants, or we do these other programs like that. And then, okay, let's tie that back into, you might not have strawberries this year, but come to this canning class and learn how to
preservation,
preserve those, products, so you'll be ready to go next year. Right. So and then like the farmers market is a definite overlap of multiple, program areas that can be with family consumer science, 4-H and horticulture overlapping each other. And then with ag, we end up partnering a lot with for field day and our like soil testing and all of those kind of things as well. You might have some other experiences, Ray, with your tenure in extension.
It's kind of like what you just said, Jessica. It's as integrated as you want it to be. I mean, ag and hort kind of are side by side. Plant and animal sciences, we focus on the plants, whereas ag is plant and, like row crops and things. So they touch plant science too. We're a little bit more specialized. FCS is a perfect fit. You just mentioned it. We kind of grow it, and they're so good about the preparation of foods and the preservation of foods. And the youth component is you can do as much of that, I know, in horticulture as you want. Because it's the youth component of extension can be integrated very easily and completely into any program area. So yeah, I love the integrated aspect. Did you guys in your summer projects, did you work kind of on things outside of what you thought you would have worked with, or did you work kind of with other agencies like across the board, or how did that work with your internship?
Specifically for our project?
Yeah, just in general, just your summer, just either your project or other activities that you did this summer.
Well, specifically for my project, obviously I worked with Jessica for the leaf printing. She helped me with that because, again, I couldn't. She gave me like a cheat sheet with how to, identify, and then some facts about each of the different species, each of them with beeswax. And I talked to Tara and Dana about some of the heritage cooking. Dana had a lot of advice with fried apple pies. Mm-hmm. That is her special interest. Is
my favorite day was when we spent a whole day making and eating fried apple pies. That might be my favorite day of the summer.
I was going to say later on, what was your favorite memory? I think we just nailed it. That was your favorite memory, yeah.
Someone had to eat them, so we did the hard job of eating apple pies all day.
Nothing's going to top that for me, is just sitting around eating fried apple pies. I bet you they were fresh too, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they were good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. How much more Kentucky and Americana can you get than just sitting around eating fried apple pies? That's amazing.
Very brief anecdote. We my wife Annie and I dropped by one of our local orchards to pick up some peaches and some blackberries that they had recently. And she comes out and she has on top of the stack of fruit, she has some apple cider donuts. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that, I can't believe, wow, this is, and she's like, oh, they're for our neighbor.
No. That's that
Talk about a rug pull.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, I'm still working through it, so I appreciate you all letting me share.
Emotional damage on the 9th grade.
Love those.
Well, Zoe, I know that I asked Kallise, but I'm curious, do you have a sense of, I realize it's hard to know, and if you'd asked me at any point over the last 15 years where I was going to end up professionally, I would say I don't know, including today. But do you have a sense of where you might like to go with your work after college, based on both your experience within the internship, but also in the your degree programs and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I, before this summer, had, as a concept, thought that extension would be an interesting career path for me. I study community and leadership development as well as sustainable agriculture, which I describe as kind of the intersection between environmental and social sustainability. And I think extension, in its concept of being kind of the connecting piece between the university and the resources and the knowledge and everything happening on campus to the community members, is a great way to kind of facilitate that growth and progress that I'm interested in making. So the summer has confirmed that I think this would be a good pathway, especially to start. I mean, we'll see where everything goes, and maybe after grad school things will expand even more, but it's been a great summer, and I could totally see myself in this position.
Very cool. Yeah, I think as we were talking about the program area overlap and all of that stuff, I think nationwide and at our Kentucky level, we're thinking about, these program areas. They are real. They have a history and a real important utility, but also thinking about blurring some of the lines between how we silo those programs to say all of the, ag has implications for water quality, which has implications for health, or that, the way that we build houses or don't build houses, it impacts on food production in farming areas, which has impacts on farm income and et cetera. And it also has impact on our nutrition. So it's like this kind of seeing the connections and hearing that you all are getting to experience those in this internship is really cool. And I'm glad to hear that you all have had such a good dynamic experience and lots of opportunities to do a variety of things. We have some folks who work with us over the summer, and I kind of hope they don't hear this because it sounds like a much more exciting than looking at spreadsheets and the nerdy stuff that we end up doing up on campus. And it's just confirming that the extension offices are cooler than extension on campus. Confirmed. Agents are cooler than me. You all are cooler than me. It's just,
Brett, you can't
reality.
top fried apple pies. Excel spreadsheet
hard to beat.
Fried apple pies. Come on, man.
Yep,
Come on.
I had to go after work to not even get the donuts and it's like, I can't. You all have made me realize that maybe I need to revise my life plan.
I'm going to call Brett when I start doing my rounds of orchard visits here in a week or two. I will let you know, Brett.
Thank you.
And then I will invite you to the donut, orchard runs. Yes. Orchard visits, production visits. Yeah.
Yeah. This is about horticulture. This isn't about pies.
It is.
Well, two other things I've thought of. One that's very horticulture related, and Ray, and if Alexis was here, could definitely relate to this. I was able to take both of them each out on their own separate home visit and to a home visit, which is a classic topic that we deal with as horticulture agents. Help, I have large trees that are dying.
Oh, no, the toughest of all extension questions. Yeah.
So they both got to experience that. One, Kallise got to go with me to a frequent flyer that I have, who I absolutely love, who was spray painting his trees black to try to help them.
Okay.
And, we don't really recommend that. But so they got to experience doing that and seeing how that challenging visit is handled. But another huge thing they got to do this summer that they have not mentioned yet was county fair.
Oh,
and
goodness.
That's a great example of program overlapping because you all got to do it all. So do you have anything you want to share about that? I know some of it was the first time being around cows. And
I mean, a lot of it was new to me. I had been to county fairs in Kentucky, but being on the back end of camps and of really anything that's done in the office is so different than seeing it from the different perspectives. And it was really neat. I'm a big horse person, like I mentioned, but I had not been to livestock shows, so that was a total new one. I was also shocked by the variety of entries in Floral Hall, the types like plants and arts and crafts and sewing and cooked stuff and not cooked stuff, and the variety. That was a lot.
It was a lot of art projects.
Yeah.
We had to
200, what was it? Close to 300 art entries that we had this year.
Yep.
And you all did a great job helping manage those.
I mean, you talk about event management. That's another great example of lots of details. And I don't know, Jessica, I forget what entry system you guys use, but there's a lot of behind the scenes to get the floral hall looking like a floral hall ready for fair. Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of setup. We put all the tables out, put all the entries out when they were entered, lots of scanning, helped with ribbons and putting the placements into the system. So that was a multi-step, multi-day process for sure.
I would say the thing that surprised me the most, that I dealt with it the entire week at the livestock shows, and we have, my family has cows and animals, and the first thing you're taught is do not get behind a cow. Like, do not stand behind a cow. And these kids are just standing behind these cows, and they're putting their cows. I'm standing behind the cow, and I was panicked the whole week.
Danger zone. You're in the danger zone, the red zone.
Like, I can't deal with this. We have cows, but we do not show cows, so it's a different kind.
Yeah, one thing I learned too is how show animals, they're a lot more similar to horses in that they're just docile and used to everything.
Yeah.
I liked asking the kids about their animals, and I liked asking the kids about what the judges were looking for, because it was really cute to hear the kids be like, well, they're looking for muscle, but not too much muscle, and, they want really good depth and openness. And I was like, what's depth and openness? And they were like, well, it's the space between the ribs, and they want them to, they were experts in their area. So
one of the judges kept saying, this cow's just very feminine, and I was like,
she floats around the ring. But I'm asking the kids,
like a beauty pageant.
And it was pretty fun to learn from them too, especially when they're so small, but they really do know a lot about, their animals and how to show them, and it's really neat.
Maybe my family just has bad cows. I don't know, but I was next the whole time. I was like, you can't stand there. Like, you're going to get kicked.
I was having a good time. I like giving them pets. Shout out to Scarlett. She was my favorite cow.
You had a favorite. That's awesome.
Well, I think I was her favorite too. Just,
That's why she was your favorite.
She kept coming up to me for the chin scratches.
Aw.
Is there anything that in your experiences, and you've kind of touched on a few things, but I know you guys have varying levels of familiarity with extension offices, but anything that kind of surprised you being on the inside of the office this summer that stands out, like, just a process or something that was done that you didn't realize, or anything along those lines that was kind of surprising for you guys?
I think so. Like I said, I grew up within this extension office, so a lot of like the programming and things that go on didn't surprise me. But we were around Dana a lot, and she was really good about being like me and Zoe may be doing this today, but she's going and she's doing audits, or she's doing grant updates, or she's doing, some other type of, I don't want to say administrative, but kind of like behind the scenes work. And that's what was surprising to me, the amount of just, her daily reporting, the grant updates, everything that she had to do, stuff like that. The programming, I feel like, is pretty expected. That's what the people see. It's what
you hear that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of the stuff that's not as visible, that surprised.
I had a few things that surprised me. I was not involved in 4-H and hadn't been involved in extension kind of as a kid or like within a participant role. I've only learned about it from kind of a campus perspective. And I knew about, the different programs, especially 4-H, we've gotten to know a lot, how many programs they had, but it's one thing to see it, and it's another thing to kind of experience it and seeing how many programs and how impactful they are. We judged at State Communications, and the presentations and demonstrations that we saw were on par, if not better, with presentations that I've seen at college, and just seeing how tangibly helpful the skills that the kids are learning are in, academia or everyday life was so impressive. I, thought I had a good understanding of it, but just seeing it so up close and personal gives you a whole nother appreciation for it.
Yeah, my mom made a comment. You go home, you tell her about your day, and she was like, I did not realize the extension office ran nonstop like this. And I was like, tell me about it. Like, I'm just telling you about my day.
Every day was so different, too. I mean, some days we were making apple hand pies, and some days we were at camp, and some days we were at county fair, and some days we did day camps, and every day was different, and it kept it exciting for sure.
Well, yeah, so I just am so happy you all had this experience. And, as we are the Hort Culture podcast, and we've talked some about the way that your experiences have overlapped with horticulture. I'm curious, sometimes we'll move more into just a personal relationship. Do you all have particular ways that you interact with plants out in your lives or in the world? Has that maybe changed since you've been doing this, or is that something that's important to you? Garden or house plants, or just enjoy a beautiful tree or landscape?
Yes, I would say my biggest connection is probably like my horse, and his connection with grass is the biggest one. So I pay a lot of attention to the field that he's in, what he's eating. I last summer worked for the Forage Extension Service for the horse pasture evaluation program, and I cannot walk through a lawn without going, that's fescue, and that's broadleaf plantain, and oh, now I know exactly what bluegrass is, and I don't have to just guess about what this Kentucky bluegrass is. I can identify it. So I think that's my biggest connection and thing that I like pay the most attention to, just because it's like a big integral piece of his health. But I also have a couple houseplants that I try so hard to keep alive. One's name is Ophelia, and her and I are buds. I've had her for 2 years, and I have successfully kept her alive. So that's my biggest completion.
We've had lots of discussion on houseplants and emissions of guilt and houseplant, murderings.
We also recently talked with a local agent, not local to me, local to Estill County agent, about she has a set of videos that she has done about taking care of houseplants, and she's doing one that's more official UK style, and another one where it's, I guess, her cat is presenting the information.
Yes,
she has her cat on screen. So maybe you should check those out, to up your houseplant game. Her name is Emma Lee, and
I'll show you all her. You'll like it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We also were both gifted pineapple plants.
Yes, we are new pineapple farmers.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
In 3 years, we will both have a pineapple.
I'll call you up.
I just had somebody ask me. Apparently, there's some people in Tennessee who are on TikTok who are growing pineapples in like a greenhouse, and they're marketing them like one-off, shipping them. You can buy the pineapple. So, for those not botanically inclined, we're pretty far outside the range of a typical pineapple farm. You think of Hawaii, or you think of maybe places in South America, Central America. So I'm intrigued to hear about your exploits as pineapple farmers as you develop the craft, and perhaps compare notes with our Tennessee folks.
Yeah, not too much to note on right now, but we'll keep you updated.
I would say my connection to horticulture mainly comes through my family. So, most of my mom's side of the family farms, and we always do like a personal garden. So mainly like a couple rows of corn, green beans, potatoes, and we would always have these giant days during, the summer, and everybody would have to come and dig potatoes or, pull the beans off, break the beans, and then we would can them. So it's a very almost personal connection to me, I would say. Because that's kind of, when I think about, horticulture and growing plants, that's what I think about, is spending, kind of that time with my family, which is very fun. I didn't get to go this year because I was here, but
you live here now.
Yeah. And then we went on the visit with Jessica to her frequent, customer about her trees or his trees. And, my mom has a couple of trees. I think the tree was a red bud, wasn't it, Jessica, that he was worried about?
Yeah. Yep.
And you told him that red buds have a lifespan. Like at a certain point, they're just gonna die. They're not gonna live forever. And I told my mom that because we have a lot of red buds, and she was like, no, like,
you're not. You're not supposed to become the bearer of bad news with trees like me.
I know. So I think my connection is mainly just through my family and just what we have in our backyard and in our garden.
Can I add to my answer? You inspired me. I think my family would be very angry if I did not mention my orange tree and my lemon tree back in California. Those are big connecting. We have the best oranges you've ever had. And typically in the springtime, my sister and I have an orange party, which is just a dinner party, or lunch. We do it different times of day with different orange dishes. So we have like salads that we put the oranges in. We always have like tons of orange juice. Usually we like grill something up and it's like a nice springtime to hang out with friends. But gotta mention the orange tree and the lemon tree. Mm-hmm. Sometimes my dad comes through and he ships them here. So that's pretty fun.
And peaches, right?
No, just the two of those. Although my sister's boyfriend has nectarines. Okay. So we have that sometimes too.
Not easy to grow in Kentucky, peaches or nectarines. We've had discussions on the podcast about that. Those are tough ones. Mm-hmm. Orange and lemons, even more so. Probably. Yes. Not very winter hardy. Yeah, no, not here.
Just in California.
Yeah, just in California. Vastly different. So you guys have had just a wealth of experiences, kind of broad, which is not surprising. And Brett, you mentioned, I know you guys, it's typical for you guys to have interns and they have some awesome experiences too. But the internship program at the University of Kentucky through Extension, both on campus and off, I mean, even after all these years, I'm learning about aspects of that and all the people that they bring in and to support those interns. And it's a pretty awesome program. And I've always appreciated that about the extension service here in Kentucky, both on campus and off, and all the opportunities for people to get involved. I love that.
Yeah, I'm curious, so we may have folks who are listening who maybe are even thinking about doing this, or they know someone who's a student who's thinking about doing this. So I just wanted to clarify. So we have somebody from here from UK and somebody here from Western. So is it any university in Kentucky you're able to be an intern in an extension?
Do you even have to be from Kentucky? I'm pretty sure at the internship there was someone from Tennessee, maybe.
I don't think it's exclusive to Kentucky. I can get some info on that. It's pretty open. Good, yeah. I think it depends on your credit level in terms of like what year you are in school. I think you have to be at least a sophomore applying, and they typically open the beginning of September. Yeah. And applications are due by, I think it's typically like the end of October for the following summer. So pretty early. I do remember it felt
very early. It was like
you all applied in last fall, September, October, in order to do it this spring. I mean, starting this spring and summer. Okay, cool. And so what would you say to someone if they're trying to figure out, like, is this right for me or is this not? Like, what would you say some of the things you need to have in order for this to work? Do you have to be open to new experiences, or do you need to be flexible, or do you need to, like, how would you explain it to someone if they were asking you, I'm thinking about this?
I would say go for it first off, because I've had such a great experience. I would say you need to be able to be flexible, kind of adapt. Every day is going to be different. The program areas are different. You can't just be too invested maybe in one area. I don't know if other interns have one more like specific focus area, but I think, at least in my perspective and experience, being open just expanded what we were able to learn. And then there's a big people aspect of this job. So I would say if you are not a people person, you might not have the best time.
Yeah, you definitely have to be able to, be with people and, carry on a conversation. But you also kind of have to be passionate about helping people. I think it's the main thing we saw. Sometimes you get difficult customers, but in the end, like, they just want help too. So you have to be open and patient and okay with that. And yeah, I would say definitely. I spent an entire day one day counting Legos, like 8 hours straight of taking Legos and counting them. and putting them in bags. So you have to be okay with just doing what needs to be done. And I was okay doing that because I know if I wasn't doing it, Dana, the agent, she would have been the one doing it. Like it wasn't busy work. It was something that had to happen. So I would say be prepared to not do busy work. Like you're here to do stuff that matters.
In Extension, we talk a lot about subject matter skills, and that's, your formal training in a subject matter. But we also talk, and you guys have alluded to this throughout the conversation today with you guys, we talk about those critical support skills. And by that, we mean everything else that gets you through the day. That's all the things that you don't anticipate, your ability to communicate, work with a wide range of audiences, but those support skills, it's awesome that you guys have talked about that and alluded to that a lot in the conversation, both the support skills and the subject matter skills. Yeah, cool.
Awesome. Well, Kallise and Zoey, thank you all so much for joining us and sharing your experience as interns at the Mercer County Extension Office this summer. It's been really cool to just hear what you did, and also I'm glad that you had such a good experience, which
great conversation.
We all love extension, so it's good to hear.
They've been great ones. I got multiple text messages while I was on maternity leave about we got some good interns this year, and so they were like, "Wait till you get back and meet them. They're good." So my short time that I've got to work with them, they've been excellent. So, and was glad they could be on here to see a little bit of something else that we do in extension, right?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us on. This has been first time on a podcast for me. I don't know if you've been on one before.
Nope, I already got my own series on Spotify. This is number 2.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Brett, when does this post?
Fun thing to add to our list of things we've been a part of this summer.
Yeah.
I was going to say this might, appearing on Hort Culture can be the crown jewel in
That'll
your,
be the capstone.
in your internship experience.
It is our last day. Good way.
We're going to be famous after this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to get the episode over to you and let you know when it goes live. So just a reminder to our listeners, you can follow us on Instagram at Hort Culture Podcast. You can also email us at hortculturepodcast@gmail.com. That's a new email address from times in the past. We're going to keep rolling out episodes every week. If you like those episodes and you'd like them to keep rolling out, please take a second to, on whatever platform you use, rate and give us a review if that's an option for you. We like 5 stars. That's our preference if that's an option for you. But we also encourage honesty as long as it's 5 stars. I'm just kidding. And so we hope as we grow this podcast, you will grow with us, and we will talk to you next time.